Hello, I'm Gail Royster, President of the Rotary Club of Hudson. Rotary International is a 100-year-old organization of 1.2 million business and professional leaders in more than 200 countries, providing humanitarian service, building goodwill, and peace in the world. The Rotary Club of Hudson, formed in 1930, is a group of men and women who support the international mission, but who are also joined together by a common interest in service to our own Hudson community. A sincere desire to give back. Our primary focus is on local activities such as student scholarships, the service learning class at Hudson High, Hudson Community First, Hudson Community Service, and Boy Scout Troop 321, to name just a few. In addition, Rotarians volunteer their services for such activities as Santa on the Green, Salvation Army's Red Kettle, Relay for Life, Hudson Bandstand, Art on the Green, Bob's Bikes, which is a program that we created and is unique to our club, the four-way speech contest, and many, many others. You might have heard of the four-way test, which is followed by Rotarians worldwide in their business and professional lives. It has been translated into more than 100 languages. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? You are about to watch excerpts from one of our recent meetings. Please enjoy.
Good morning, Rotarians and guests. I lost control this morning. We're starting a couple minutes late, and I apologize. I'm Ron Strobel, and I'm supposed to be the Sergeant at Arms, but it's hard to keep this group going in the right direction. The invocation this morning is by Phil Warburton.
We all bow our heads, please. Our Father, we come to you very humbly this morning, thanking you that you are in our lives always. We thank you for all the things you do for us, and we thank you for all the blessings you bestow upon us each and every day. We ask that you watch over our families and protect them, guiding us in our lives, that your will be done. We ask that you make this Rotary Club productive, serving all the members of the Hudson community in the best possible way. I say all these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Phil. The pledge and four-way test this morning. Ben Rexroad will lead us.
Good morning. Good morning. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now to the four-way test. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Ben, and to lead us in song, back from a week of having fun with his grandchildren and all that, Dick Pearsall.
Okay, the way the world is right now, I need a little spiritual reinforcement. So I just think that I love to hear you sing God Bless America. So that's what we're going to sing today. Here we go. God bless America, land that I love, standing beside her
the night with a light from above.
Quietly.
From the mountains
Great.
to the prairie,
Build it.
to the oceans, white with foam.
Let it go.
God bless America, my home,
Sweet home. 2, 3, 4.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Boy, that made me feel good. You're wonderful.
And filling in for our president today, our past president, Rich Warfield.
Thank you, Ron. You'll have to forgive me. I might be a little rusty at doing this. It's been a whole 30 days, so just bear with me. And when I heard Dick Pearsall spend a week with his grandchildren, and you're still alive to talk about it, it's fun for a couple hours, I'd imagine. Then you need a nap. At this point in time, we would like to have Jimmy come up and share with us the birthdays of the week, if you could. Or would you like me to announce that, Jimmy? No, I think you were going to do it. Okay.
This is a new tradition started by our President Allison. I think it's kind of a nifty idea. We want to recognize people who are having birthdays this week. So, Larry Sanson, you get to stand up. And Jim Ahern, you get to stand up.
Stand up.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. And as my father would say, I could screw up a one-car funeral.
Thank you, Jimmy, and I'd also like to thank the setup crew. I think you all know who you are. We appreciate all the efforts you've made. Tom, stay awake there, my friend. You're included. What's the tie for this morning? Tie one on. That's when the tie comes off, right, Coach? But yeah, thank you for all the time you spent setting up this morning, and also James, thank you for running the equipment over there. Appreciate it. I know week in, week out, all of you have been very reliable. At this point in time, we'd like to have our new secretary, Chris Barker, come up and announce any guests or any special. Well, that was easy. There are no guests today. All right, moving along. Anything else, Chris, you want to say? Good morning. Okay, she says good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Chris.
And also like to thank Craig Tallman for being a greeter, and Max Wendell, please. Thank you. Next month's greeters, if you don't know already, if you don't check out the website, would be Robert. Robert, are you here? And Ed, you're on. Okay. All right. Let me read my notes here. Forgive me, I have to take my glasses off. It's Jeopardy time. Allison asked Gail, who asked me to do it this morning. Come on up. Well, okay, you're not here to read the question? Are you here to hand out the candy? Okay, all right. And by the way, this week's candy would be a box of Whoppers. So, don't run on up here right away. Okay, the clue is, this Rotarian holds our record for most years of membership in Rotary. And remember, as Allison would tell you, you have to answer in a question format. So have at it. Bzzz. Bzzz. Come on, history buff.
Who is Joe Avella?
Bzzz. Yeah, you're disqualified.
Who is Joe Rusnak?
Bzzz. Can I give a clue? Hey, no pointing.
Who is Bob Hills?
Bzzz.
Who's Phil?
Well, I know he's old, but he's not the oldest member.
Do a hint.
Bzzz. I was going to give you a hint if you let me.
Who is Joe
Jablonski. Bzzz. Bzzz. You have to spell the name, Joe Avella. Who said it? You or are you speaking on behalf of Joe Avella?
Yes, I'm speaking on behalf.
Would you like to rephrase your question?
Who is Joe Zakachowski?
You are correct, Joe Avella. Wait, you're supposed to be doing this. The guy over here, Joe. Nice Polish name. All right, meet your member week is coming up. Oh, thank you. In August of 1964, he joined Rotary. So he'd make 50 years as a member. Now, Mr. Hills, are you close to 50 years? No? Not even close? Okay. Okay. So, at this point in time, Mr. Duncan Tanner, who is always a delight to listen to, would like to share a brief moment on the history of Rotary.
Good morning, fellow history buffs. Good morning, Duncan. Today, Good morning, fellow history buffs. Today, I will enunciate. Rotary fights polio. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share 3 numbers with you. Try to remember them or write them down, because at the end of this brief presentation, I'm going to ask you to tell me what those numbers mean. The first is 2016. The second is 878 million. And the third is 99. Polio is a highly contagious virus transmitted by fecal matter and nose and throat secretions that enters the victim orally, travels and incubates in the intestines, then moves to the brain and spinal cord. First recorded in 1835, polio was particularly difficult to battle because it can survive long periods of time outside of a host, particularly in sewage. This gets better, hang in there. Only human beings can carry the virus, and because its symptoms closely mirror the flu, it was largely ignored until actual paralysis began. Considered the most dreaded affliction of the post-World War II era, polio routinely killed 28% of its victims, rendering another 35% fully or partially paralyzed. 1952 marked the worst polio epidemic in the United States, and a 1953 poll conducted by Life magazine and the Mayo Clinic determined that Americans feared atomic war only more than polio. Famous people with polio include Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Arthur Clark, Donald Sutherland, Chief Justice William O. Douglas, J. Robert Oppenheimer, Neil Young, Mia Farrow, Alan Alda, Joni Mitchell, and Francis Ford Coppola. Jonas Salk was an MD and virologist at the University of Pittsburgh. He had dedicated himself to the study of polio since 1948 and recognized that because the virus was similar to smallpox, it might be controlled by a vaccine. Simply put, a vaccine fights a virus by introducing small laboratory-altered doses of the actual virus into a potential host. The host immune system builds up a resistance, and as the virus runs out of hosts, it naturally dies. Because America's fear of polio was so pronounced, most parents forbade their children to swim in public pools, play in public areas, and even visit the houses of friends if there was even a rumor of an interaction with polio. Salk's first test subjects were actually his own wife and children. While not the first to develop a vaccine, Salk was, in 1955, the first to develop a safe vaccine that could be duplicated in laboratories around the world. By 1985, polio was almost completely eradicated in the United States, but not in a number of other nations, among them Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria. What's the problem? Sanitary conditions in those countries are traditionally poor, and some mullahs, those are the Islamic religious leaders, spread the rumor that administering the polio vaccine was actually a plot to sterilize women and effectively eliminate future generations of Muslims. Using its worldwide platform and reputation for service, Rotary International accepted the challenge of changing opinions and raising funds to eradicate polio. Our plan? Vaccinate every child under 5 who may be at risk. $120 million was raised that first year, 1985, and the number of people infected had dropped from 350 in 1988 to only 350,000 in 1988 to only 250 last year. And now those numbers, folks. 2016, the year Rotary predicts polio will be completely eradicated. 878 million, that's the dollar figure raised by Rotary to date to battle this disease. And finally, 99.8. That is the percentage to which polio has been eradicated by 2013. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan. Your history is always welcomed and always interesting. The Warfield family knows firsthand because my grandma, Esther Warfield, came down with polio at the age of 33 and was confined to a wheelchair. From that point forward, I was just a young whippersnapper, didn't know why she was in a wheelchair, but eventually I found out. So anyway, at this point in time, we would like to have Craig come up and announce his new board for the Hudson Rotary Foundation for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2014, ending June 30th, 2015.
Well, good morning, Rotarians. And thank you, Rich. I really appreciate it. We'll just take some very important minutes here this morning, recognizing those who will serve this year on our Board of Trustees for the Hudson Rotary Foundation. I think we've got an exciting year ahead of us. I think we've got a few challenges that I know we can work with the club on, but I certainly anticipate that we'll have a successful agenda for the entire year, and I think our community will certainly benefit from our efforts in doing so. So I would like to announce those who are here in attendance this morning or who are members of the board, if you just stand. And the reason we would like to do this is so everybody else in the club can have some appreciation as to who is serving on our board this year. Roseanne Drake here this morning. Roseanne is a second-year trustee, and she will be serving as vice president this year for the foundation. Larry Santon is a new trustee this year, and he is in the class of 2016 with a 2-year term, and he will be serving as our board secretary. Joe Avella. Joe will be serving again this year as our treasurer, and Joe is also in the class of 2016 and has 2 years remaining in his term as well. Other trustees, starting with the class of 2015 with 1-year terms remaining. Phil Warburton. Phil joins us again with a great deal of experience, previously served as our grants chair. Donna Kastner is new to the board this year. Will be serving a 1-year term in the class of 2015. And Rich Warfield will be serving as past president member to the board this year as well. Our class of 2016 with 2 years remaining in their terms. Art LaFountain. Is Art here this morning? Okay. And I already mentioned Joe and Roseanne and Larry who complete that class. And our third slate, class of 2017, just elected for 3-year terms, serving again George Snyder, Dan Williams, Catherine Sines, who I don't believe is here either. She's joining us for the first time this year. And Duncan Tanner is joining the board this year in a 3-year slot capacity. Our chair people this year for grants will be Larry Santon. For our Revenue Development Committee will be Duncan Tanner. And our Investment Committee will be George Snyder. So congratulations to all of you. Welcome to our board. And thank you for your service.
Thank you, Craig, for that announcement. It sounds like you have a very solid board, and I see you got everybody plugged in right away. So one of the things, as your new membership chair, I've noticed in this room that we have 3 wonderful ladies present. And if you know of any ladies that I can contact to tell them more about Rotary, I'd love to do that. So if you have any names, I'll be more than happy to reach out to them. Not that 3 is not enough, but we need to get more members in here and go that route. This month is the last week of our speaker chair, Gail Royster, who's done a wonderful job arranging all the speakers. But before she comes up, see, I got her out of her seat. There is a Rotary Club mixer tonight at the pavilion over here, right, Jimmy? Right. And there is approximately 7 people signed up, so I believe it's $15, right? Right. And it starts at 5:30 and goes to 7:30. So I will pass this list around, and Jimmy, does it go back to you or who?
I'll take it to Captain Chad.
Okay. This is not to be confused with Dexter's social events that he is putting on in the month of August, which I believe we have a baseball game this Friday, and the golf outing is in August 28th?
Yep.
August 28th. Did you want to share anything, Dexter, or are you good?
We have some sign-up sheets. I'll pass these out
Okay.
for the golf outing.
All right, Dexter, we'll pass out sign-up sheets for all of you. Oh, and before because Gail, you're getting up here a few minutes early. We all have to, you can find me, Duncan, on this. We'll all have to get our plugs in when we can.
That list is getting pretty long, Rich.
Yeah, and is there anything you're not involving yourself in here with?
That could be a fine.
Oh my goodness, then I'm not ahead of the game. Thank you, Gail. Gail, you can remain seated. So, hurry up. Now it's hurry up. Anyway, I came back from Minneapolis, and I had an opportunity to walk and caddy for my son last week at the World Disc Golf Championships in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it was quite the experience. There were 3 different divisions. Well, actually more than that. There was advanced, 19 under, and 16 under, and he was pretty upset at himself. He started over par, and he had to make some room up on the last 2 rounds, and he finished 10 under in the last 2 rounds to finish 20th in the world. So he wanted to finish in the top 10, but we don't always get what we want, so there's always next year. So it was quite the experience. And these young men, they put a lot of effort into this game, which a lot of people don't know about. There's sports like bowling and somebody mentioned the soccer, football, disc, sports that people don't even know about, but there's a lot of effort that these kids make, and they're top athletes, or at least disc golf throwers in the world. So it was really a pleasure to come watch them. Joe, would you like to come up and do your 5? It's on the agenda. I'm just getting old.
Back. That's it. So, Joe, sorry I messed up your name. I knew from listening to your 3-minute Rotarian, I knew you were a Rotarian for a long time. So sorry about that. And you can have some of my Whoppers then. So when I did my 3-minute Rotarian, I talked about my business career, and you may have also mentioned that I really had 2 careers in my working life. One was the business career in corporate finance that kind of paid the bills. The other was a part-time career in the Army National Guard, where I spent almost 28 years and retired in 1993 as a lieutenant colonel. So it's that second career that I wanted to talk about today, the National Guard. I figured that was a little more interesting than talking about debits and credits and corporate finance and stuff. So, but I started my military career in 1965 when I was commissioned a second lieutenant through ROTC when I graduated from Rutgers University in New Jersey. Being young and enthusiastic, I volunteered for Vietnam, and about 4 months later, I was a platoon leader of a boat company going up and down the Saigon River. Stayed in the Army for another year or so, and then came back to the States and joined the National Guard. And then I retired in 1993. So it's the National Guard that I wanted to talk about today. What is the Guard? It is, in fact, the oldest military organization in the United States, going back to the early 1600s when ordinary citizens formed together to form militias to protect their families and their homes. Since that time, it's served in every major conflict in the United States. Now, the Guard is unique because it has a dual mission. One is state and one is federal. And each soldier or airman in the Guard is not only a member of their state National Guard, but is also a member of either the United States Army or the United States Air Force. And and when the Guard is not, when a unit is not mobilized, it falls under the control of the governor. And the governor has the authority to call up the National Guard to protect life or property. Most usually, it's called up to assist other forces in times of national disasters such as hurricanes and floods. The federal mission of the Guard is to maintain a well-trained and well-equipped military units that can be deployed very quickly to serve in conflicts. And since 9/11, the Guard has really stepped up and really done that job. And it's fought in all the, in Afghanistan and Iraq. And today, over 50% of our Guardsmen today have had combat experience. And when I was in the Guard back in the Cold War, it was probably 10 or 20%. So the Guard has really stepped up, and it's become a relatively cost-effective way of our operational forces. Now today, the National Guard has over 358,000 soldiers, citizen soldiers, and the Army Guard comprises 32% of the Army's operational forces, but yet only spends 15% of the Army's budget. The Air Force has, the Air National Guard has 106,000 pilots, airmen, mechanics, etc., and has similar cost savings metrics. So I was in the Guard for a total of 28 years, and when you serve in the Guard as a citizen soldier, it's 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer. However, we all know that any management job is quite a bit more than that. So I missed a lot of family get-togethers, weddings, etc. And so you may ask, why would I do that? Well, the pay certainly was a reason, but I was also influenced by the first Colonel Avella, and that was my dad. He was, of course, a veteran of World War II, and when he got out, he became a school teacher and then joined the Army National Guard. And then back in the 60s, he was federalized again, came back on active duty as the Director of Selective Service for the state of New Jersey. And so his organization was responsible for all the draft boards. And so if you remember your history, the draft was a pretty popular, high-profile issue back at that time. I think this photo was taken when I graduated, because that plaque in the back, as I saw yesterday, commemorates the first intercollegiate football game held between Rutgers and Princeton in 1869. So that was the first football game. So I guess I've also had some influence in the military, because there is another Colonel Avella, and my son Brandon, Lieutenant Colonel Avella, is assigned at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha. He recently took command of the 55th Intelligence Support Squadron, and this was his change of command ceremony. And if you're not familiar with change of command, this is where the outgoing commander turns over the guidon to the senior commander, in this case the group commander on the left, and then the group commander turns the guidon or the flag over to the new commander, incoming, and that incoming commander there is my son Brandon. So I was fortunate enough to be able to attend that event, and so on behalf of all the Avellas, we want to say that we are very blessed to be able to belong to the military and to do our part to serve this nation. Thank you.
Here, here.
Okay, this month's speaker chair, Gail Royster, was going to come up and announce a few speakers. And thank you, Joe, for that wonderful 5-minute Rotarian. If people don't know, Joe is our president-elect, and he's always willing to help out, especially when it comes to numbers.
Thank you, Rich. That was wonderful, Joe. Thank you very much for that. We had a little teaser that Chris sent out. It really isn't Fine Day today, but it was a great teaser because I know you all came with fat wallets. But what Duncan is going to explain to you is how he is going to conduct himself as Fine Master next week. Duncan.
How I'm going to conduct myself. Is anybody, this is next week, James. Everybody thought, I'm sorry, my apologies. Rejuvenated Fine Day. Here it is. There are 3 ways you can screw up. These are the categories of faux pas. The first one is, I can't believe I did that. That would be a mistake or a misquote or an errant comment, something that basically takes place here at a Rotary meeting or in a Rotary function on the outside. And there's nowhere you can hide. My spies are everywhere, right, Ben? Oh, Ben's gone. Okay. We will levy Ben hard next Wednesday for a golfing feat 2 weeks ago. The second area of potential problem is called publicity hounds. Those of you that have been quoted in local media outlets and other periodicals and sources, those that have a picture appearing in local media sources. Publicity hounds, you will be fined. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the third and final category will be, and where do I have that? Oh yes, oops, I forgot. That would be not having a badge or a pin or something on during a regular Rotary meeting. That could also include, oh, I don't know, a missing Sergeant-at-Arms armband. Now, next month's recipient of our largesse will be Pausability's Humane Society of Summit County. So when you're digging into your wallets and purses, think about those doggies and kitties. And if you have a problem with that, tough, I'm the Fine Master. Now, here are the levies. They will be uniform and they will be intense. If you violate an I can't believe I did that, that will range from $1 to $2. If you are caught with oops, I forgot, that would be a violation of a pin, a badge, something related to ostentatiousness in the meeting, then you will be fined between $2 and $3. And finally, if you are caught with publicity hound or certain levels of I can't believe I did that, we could go as high as $5. Now, folks, remember, the cause is good. Every month I will continue to identify worthy local causes and individuals, recipients of our largesse, and I will direct the fines accordingly. Are there any questions? I'm not asking for comments. Are there any questions related to the rejuvenated fine process? Sir.
Could we quote you in the press about that?
That's $1 right now. Just kidding.
Can I just suggest another fine? People in the audience who ask questions without getting the mic.
Oh, that's good. Oh, blessings, James. Folks, thank you very much. Can't wait to see you next Wednesday.
We cannot wait, Duncan. Thank you so much. We have devoted the whole month of July to getting to know our Rotary a little bit better. And we're going to explore our website today. And James has cautioned me to be very patient because sometimes things work a little slowly. But as you all know, on the home page, we always have the upcoming programs. And if you could scroll down a little, James, we could see that we have the Rotary. Don't click on that because it's a huge file, but you remember when we did the dictionaries last year and all these kids wrote little thank you notes and they were so sweet? Well, they're all on that link. It does take a while to load, even on a fast computer, because there's like 70 letters there, but it's so sweet. On the social events, if we could click on that, this is from Dexter, and no, that link, the link down, there you go. As I said, we are patient. Yeah, that was pretty good. And then can you get it to go to the next slide? Good. This was from Dexter's presentation about all of the different things he has coming up. Okay, if we could go back to the home page and click on the golf outing. There you go. All you ever wanted to know about the golf outing is right there for you. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Back to the home page, please, James. We're not going to click on the Indians game, but all the information on that was there because the deadline is passed, so we don't need to go through that again. The next page is the About Us page. There you see all of our officers, all of our trustees or directors, their term expirations, and their emails are there. So all you have to do is click on that link and you will get their emails. And if we could slide down just a little bit more, please. There's our president. We also have the bylaws up, so when you have a question, I know Ron is our expert on the bylaws, but they are posted there, and all of our Paul Harris fellows are posted there too. If we could go to the membership page. All of the birthdays, we update this every month, are there. Slide down. There we go. And our club member anniversaries are there. How long have you been a member of the club? Now, the members only section, are you able to put your own passcode in there, James?
Actually, we have Craig, but we'll have you do that again.
Because the roster is in the membership page. So anytime you need to know someone's phone number or their email address or their home address, it's all there for you. And we do update that as members come and go. We also have the foundation budget on that page. That is last year's budget. You'll see when they get to that. Do you remember your passcode? Yay! Okay, so.
Thanks to Craig. I asked about 20 members before I got one who had his pets.
Oh, that's fine, Worthy.
Okay, so you can see if you click on the membership roster, that's the only one we need to click on now, James. Everybody. So you have immediate access to all of our members on that. Okay, foundation page is next. The officers and trustees that Craig announced this morning are all posted there. And then The major grants from our last fiscal year are all posted there as well. And that grant application link. Anybody who is interested in applying for a grant, all they have to do is go to our website, click on that link, which James is very kindly bringing up, and it's in fillable form. So it's real easy for anyone on the outside or us to fill in online and send it into the club. Pretty cool, huh? I have a wonderful assistant who knows how to do that stuff. The next page is the Avenues of Service page. And I just wanted you to kind of see how we have everyone, every committee chair is there, the team captains are there, the team assignments. You don't need to click on that, but it's kind of, you know, who's doing what for the club is on that page. And then, James, if you could go to the links page. And the only one I wanted you to click on, you can see all the different links that are there, but click on that one, thank you. And click on the officers up there. Way up here?
Way up on the left.
Yeah. And you'll see it's a little out of date. I just wanted to point that out so that you can appreciate how hard it is to keep things updated and, you know, current with all the work that goes into our website as well. Okay, let's go to the special events page. We're going to have some fun with this. Now, you're going to look at the pictures and you're going to tell me what's going on. Okay? You want to click on the Rotary Bounce House? Too bad he's not here today. I don't know if the music will come through. Anybody recognize him?
Higher! Higher!
Higher!
Higher!
Okay, who was that?
Archer.
And where was that?
At my event.
At Dexter's event, absolutely. Okay, back to the special events. And what's going on up here? Oops. That's our president, of course. Can you see? I can't stay on the mic here. Go up above Allison. Oh, gosh. Thank you. I'm going to get fined for that, huh? $5. Right there. What's going on here? Where is this?
Dexter's party.
Okay, where's the? Oh.
Oh, looking good, Dex.
How about that? I'm in the way. I'm sorry. Yeah. Publicity hound.
She's already got a lot. Bring your purse next week.
Okay. All right. If we can just kind of keep going down. I don't think we'll have time to enlarge each one, James. But maybe can you see them well enough to get a feel for what's going on? Sure. What's over on the right?
That's the pie. Pie in the face.
Yeah. Keep going. What? Whoa. Oh. Who's that? Joe Boisel. All right, what's going on over there?
That's captain's meeting.
Captain's meeting?
John Tucker's captain's meeting.
The #1 team celebrating. Courtesy of Tom Page. Thank you. Some of our speakers. students. Yeah, there's another link I want when we get to it. I'm not sure if we've passed it. A lot of our donations. Sand on the green. Oh, here. Who is that? And where? Okay, that was at Lake Forest, and why?
Social mission.
Why?
Because we wanted to. The watch held back.
Didn't somebody win, bid high on that?
Tom Tobin.
Yeah, see? That's what we did. Okay, you can keep sliding down here. What were we doing there? EMS outreach was here? Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, that's kind of an overview of what's going on and all the fun that we've had here at Rotary. And I think we might have time. I've been teased because on HCTV, the opening and the close of our TV show still shows me as president, and I guess I've been ousted. So Donna is going to show you what the new opening, is going to be for the TV show. Yeah, the whole goal is to make the public understand what a wonderful time we have, as well as, you know, our giving back to the community. Back up.
Okay, I think in the last week's presentation, someone said about patience.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's $1.
That was last week.
Right. Doesn't count this week.
I think we just heard a volunteer.
Careful. Yeah, I was just going to say. He is irreplaceable. Oh, was that it? Do you want to change my music, it said? Does it actually go that fast?
No, it's going too fast, you're right.
Yeah. It runs 2 minutes and something.
Okay.
Yes.
So for those of you that were at the gala, we've been doing these short videos, and we are using Animoto, by the way, as a really cool online tool that you can create these videos and import pictures and even videos within a video. And there's background music, and it's about 2 minutes, a little bit over 2 minutes, and it's kind of run as our opener. And then I'm going to work with, there we go.
How about that? Our very talented Donna, thank you so much for doing that. And James, thanks so much for your work back there. Really appreciate it. Rich, it's yours.
I guess all I can say is wow. That's why we are one of the premier Rotary clubs. Because we have a lot of talents in this room, and it's our responsibility to continue to recruit talent as we go along. So I'm very impressed. Donna did a great job. So with that being said, would you like to come up and pick the winning ticket, Donna? Here, I heard what Tom Page said. Don't take it, pick it, okay?
James, could you fly down so she could announce August?
269075. Yay!
All right, Robert. Thank you, Donna. $13. Be one heck of a breakfast.
Is that the number? Are you sure?
The official accounting firm of Warfield Company CPAs verifies the account is all good. All right, let's go for the jackpot.
This is not.
Ah, too bad, Robert. Congratulations, though. And that concludes this week's agenda, unless I left somebody off, which, thank you, everybody, for attending. Hopefully the sunshine will stay all day. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our program, and thanks to HCTV for providing us the opportunity to televise our Rotary meetings. Our club meets every Wednesday throughout the year at 7:15 a.m. in Laurel Lakes Community Room. You are most welcome to attend one of our meetings to learn more about our mission. Thank you.